So today I have a super exciting video. It is a collab with one of my close YouTube friends, and I am so happy we are finally collaborating because I know we've been thinking about it and talking about it for a while. And it is with my friend Liz Rogers. Now, we had a few ideas in mind of what we were gonna do for our collab, but we came down to our top 10 favorite artists / bands that we've gotten into this year, in 2016. And I came down to my list and she came down to hers, and I'm going to be naming 5 of mine here and 5 of mine on her channel, so be sure to check out the video on her channel. Subscribe to her, follow her. I will link all her stuff below. If you've heard of me, you've probably heard of her, so I'm not assuming you don't. But if you haven't already subscribed to Liz, watch her video. It'll be on her channel. Same thing, I'll be naming 5 here, she'll be naming 5 here, I'll be naming 5 there, she'll be naming 5 there. So I'm gonna get right into it. The bands I'm gonna be naming on my channel are bands that I probably haven't talked that much about, whereas the bands I name on her channel are bands that I've talked about tons of times on my channel. So I figured if you're gonna watch the video on my channel, they're gonna be bands that I haven't talked about enough, you know? Number 5 for me is a band that I did get into this year. They're all bands I've gotten into this year. I'd say I got into this band July, August. They are a band called Sorority Noise. Now, my friend Ashley, shout out to you, she told me to check out Sorority Noise back in the spring. I downloaded a ton of their stuff and I listened to it, but I didn't really get hooked onto it or anything. It was just if it came on, it came on. I wouldn't consider myself a fan of the band because I didn't know all the songs or anything. But this August they toured with Bayside, and me and Ashley went to go see them. I just got way more into them after seeing them live, after listening to the music to prep for the concert. They have a really cool, unique sound. I don't know who I'd compare them to. I guess in the genre of pop punk where the Front Bottoms are, and Tiger's Jaw, and all those bands. So if you like that kind of pop punk, you'd probably like Sorority Noise. I think that they're really awesome and that they have a really cool sound.
So the next one for me is a singer called Lights. I don't think I might have talked about her on my channel before, but I have been obsessed with her Little Machines album, and she released a acoustic version of it, and oh my god, you guys, I really need it. I really need it. But her voice is just so unique, and I love her music so much. It's very upbeat, fun. I have not seen her. She's on my list to see. But yeah, I've just been obsessed with her this year, and I've had this album on a CD before, but once I got it on vinyl, I've found my love for her again, and I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed.
Number 4 is a band that I guess could be in the same somewhat genre of Sorority Noise, and they're a band that I know I've talked about on my channel because I have some of their albums on vinyl, and they're a band called Citizen. Now, I got hooked on Citizen when I heard The Night I Drove Alone, and I fell in love with that song. I thought it was such a cool song. And then I listened to their whole album, Youth, and I fell in love with it. Youth is my favorite Citizen release. They have Everybody Is Going to Heaven and a few other releases, but Youth is hands down my favorite. It's one of my favorite albums, probably, that I have on vinyl. So, yeah, I got into them, I'd say, about the springtime because I got Youth for my birthday on vinyl, so, yeah. Citizen, yay.
Next one for me is Parachute. I had the chance to see them live this year, and they did not disappoint. It was my first time seeing this band live, and I became obsessed with them with their song She for Liz. I've talked about this before on my channel. If you haven't already, you should go look at my videos. I'm pretty sure it's on one of them. She for Liz made me fall in love with this band. Apparently my mom knew who they were before I did, which, what? How? This album is just so good. They released this album this year, actually. So Wide Awake was released this year, and they also went on tour, and I know they were touring with Need to Breathe, and I think they're touring with Train now. I'm not entirely sure. If you haven't checked this out, it's really good. I've always loved their music. I think I have all of their CDs. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm obsessed with this band. His voice is just amazing, and I can't wait to see them again.
Number 3 is a band I've known about for more time, but I just got really into this year, and they're a band called Knuckle Puck. So everyone knows Knuckle Puck. I feel like everyone loves Knuckle Puck. I have a funny story about Knuckle Puck. Alright, I saw them open for The Maine back on the American Candy Tour in 2015, and the crowd was so rough that I was against the barricade on the side, facing away from the stage. I just couldn't look at the stage because I was being so smushed. So I remember all my memory I had of Knuckle Puck was that I don't remember the music. I don't remember anything about their set because it was just so rough or whatever. And I was a little weenie and I stuck it out because I wanted to be up close for the main. But I didn't remember any of the songs they did or nothing. Like, I really couldn't enjoy their set because I was being pushed up against the barricade. But I've really grown to love them. They've become one of my favorite pop punk bands. Like, I rarely skip them when they come on. I really love Knuckle Puck. I didn't really judge them. I didn't really care about their sound before. It was just the memory ingrained in my head for a while was being pushed against a barricade. So I was like, yeah, I don't really listen to Knuckle Puck because I had no idea what was going on. But this year I've gotten much more into them.
The next one for me is the 1975, and I actually just got this from vinyl. I ordered it off of their web store, and I was really excited when I got it. Fun fact, I didn't know if I was actually getting a vinyl box or this in the mail, so I was really confused. I was like, I really hope I'm not getting my actual box because I want to do an unboxing video. So I was like opening it like really slowly, like thinking, oh my god, what if this is my actual box? I'm gonna ruin it. But thankfully it was just this. But yeah, I have been obsessed with the 1975. This album has made me fall in love with this band. I am obsessed with it. Like, I really want to see them live. I haven't had the chance. It'll happen one day. I know it will. But this album it's beautiful. Beautiful, and I love their first one too.
So number 2 is a band that I've also known about for over a year, but I just started getting into them this year, and they're a band called Beartooth. Now, shout out to my friend Jackie because he liked Beartooth like last summer when they were on Warped Tour. He saw them on Warped Tour, whatever, and I really didn't know any songs. I wasn't very interested at all. They released their album Aggressive this year, and I listened to it, and I fell in love. Now, I was going to make a video talking about my favorite heavier bands, and I think I'm still going to do that. And they're definitely one of them. I think that they're incredible. They actually were in my area the night before Halloween, like literally 10 minutes away from me, but I didn't go. I couldn't go. And they're just awesome. Like, if you are into any kind of like metalcore rock alternative, I definitely recommend them. I feel like the stuff on their first album might have been a tiny bit heavier, but Aggressive has a good mix of everything, and I think that Caleb's voice is like really good. So shout out to Jackie for getting me into them, and I'd say, yeah, I got into them, I'd say in the summer, because Aggressive came out in the beginning of the summer. So Beartooth at number 2.
The next one for me is from Indian Lakes, and they recently just released their new album a month ago or something. It's called, what is this called? It's called Everything Feels Better Now. I have this on vinyl and CD, and I've listened to this a couple of times, and I honestly am obsessed with it. I've been listening to it nonstop. I really like Happy Machines, of course, American Dreams, and Hello. Love them. Some of my favorites off this album. I highly recommend this band to anyone that really likes kind of chill, relaxing music. The singer's voice is absolutely beautiful, and I'm obsessed. I had the chance to see them live this summer, I believe, and I fell in love. I also met the singer, and he's really funny. Like, it's kind of the funny where he doesn't really try. It's just kind of like natural, you know? But yeah, I highly recommend this band.
Now, number 1 is also a band. Okay, I am so late on this bandwagon. Because ever since I got into bands, everyone talked about this band, and I don't know why I never listened to them. I just never sat down and listened to them until this year, and it is my fault, and I'm upset that I waited so long. And they're a band called A Day to Remember. I feel like so many people like A Day to Remember that everyone's like, she just got into them this year. Yes, I just got into them this summer, I'd say June or July, because once again, my friend Jackie was like, you gotta check them out. They're a perfect mix of metalcore and pop punk, and I love that because I love heavier music, but at the same time, I like vocals in the songs. I like when songs have breakdowns. I like when songs have parts of screaming and then parts of clean vocals, and A Day to Remember nail it with that. And my favorite release of theirs is What Separates Me From You. Bad Vibrations came out in September. That was incredible also. They've just grown to become one of my most listened to bands. I don't know if they're one of my favorite bands, but one of my most listened to bands. And it's kind of a shame that I just got into them this year, and I know they've been around a while. Ever since I started getting into alternative music, their name has circled, everyone talks about them, and I don't know why I didn't sit down earlier to check them out, but I finally did, and I'm so happy I did because I am obsessed with them.
And my last one is Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga released a new album, Joanne. I am obsessed with it. I have been listening to it so much. I've had so many people say, Liz, you need to listen to this album. And I'm over here like, haha, joke's on you. I beat you to it. I'm already listening to it. Joanne is beautiful. The entire album is beautiful. Joanne and Million Reasons make me very emotional. Like, I tear up when I listen to it. You know, it happens all the time. I absolutely love that album. It's so good. It's just, there's a wide variety of like different sounds and different kinds of music on that album. It's a very well put together record. So yeah, you guys should go check it out if you haven't already.
So those were our top 10 artists/bands we got into in 2016. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me below, or tell us below, if you want any more collabs or any collab ideas. Please follow Liz on everything. I'm gonna link all her social media below. Subscribe to her, check out the video on her channel where I do my other 5 and she does her other 5. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!